With only 8 days to go until Election Day, John McCain seemingly has an uphill battle if he wants to win the White House. CNN senior political analyst Bill Schneider is looking at some of those polls. He joins us live from Washington. Bill, are we seeing any shift as of late in these poll of polls that we love so much these days?
Not really, but we have seen a big shift since the conventions.
Our latest poll of polls for the national campaign has Barack Obama leading John McCain by 8 points. Obama 51%, McCain 43%, with 6% still undecided. About the same as it's been for the last 2 weeks. The national poll of polls every week since the conventions shows a clear trend. After the conventions, McCain had a very slight lead nationally. By mid-September, Obama had pulled ahead by a few points. In mid-September, Lehman Brothers failed and the financial crisis began. Obama's lead began to grow. At the end of September, the market crashed. As the crisis spread, Obama's lead grew bigger. Since mid-October, his lead has held steady at 8 percentage points. Obama is trying not to sit on that lead.
I feel like we got a righteous wind at our backs here. But we're going to have to work. We're going to have to struggle.
While McCain is not intimidated by it.
We're a few points down. The pundits have written us off, just like they've done several times before.
We also have polls of polls in several battleground states. They show a similar trend. In Virginia, McCain was leading in late September. Week by week, Obama gained support. The latest poll of polls in Virginia, Obama up 7 points. Ohio, McCain had a small lead in September. By mid-October, Obama had a lead in the low single digits in Ohio, where it has remained.
The financial crisis seems to have moved a lot of voters to make up their minds for Obama, and they haven't changed their minds. Nicole?
So is this a referendum on the economy, or is this a referendum on President Bush?
Well, it's both, because President Bush is tied to the economy, and his economic record is very much the issue at the center of this race. Clearly, the unpopularity of President Bush is one reason why so many voters have turned against the Republican Party for the Senate, for the House, and also now for President, even though John McCain has gone to great lengths to tell voters, I'm not President Bush, I'm not part of the Bush administration. Bush is the status quo, and voters are voting against it.
And we're, of course, seeing that so intensely in all of the races for the Senate with the balance of power at stake. And with this latest news regarding Senator Ted Stevens, how do you think that's going to play in next Tuesday?
I think his seat now must be rated as very likely to go to the Democrats. The Democratic candidate was about a point ahead of Senator Stevens before the verdict came in. Stevens is something of an icon in Alaska. He's delivered a lot of goods for Alaska, but at this point he's been found guilty on 7 counts, and seems to me very unlikely that he can hold on to that seat. It's likely to go Democratic. The Democrats need a net gain of 9 seats to get 60 votes, which would override any filibuster attempt by the Republicans. It looks like they picked up the first one already.